bad. I'm just taking a break from the Aptasia video to show you a little creature that people often ask about online, and it's the that guy. And that is a vermetid snail. So it's funny to think about it, but that is actually a snail. And he has affixed his shell in a tube-like form to the coral, or to any rock, and there are several of these in here. And what they do is they send out a string of mucus, and you can see that very well in this picture, which is what drew my attention to it. And they capture bits of food, and I just fed the tank, which is why there are bits of food, and then it draws that mucus back in and eats the food off of it as it comes back into it. And it's fascinating. I don't care for them myself. They're harmless in most respects. When that mucus string gets on certain corals, it most certainly can irritate that coral, and that can be a problem. So depending on where they're located, they may cause some irritation to the coral. Also, they tend to go on rock, but it is possible that they could attach to a coral itself directly, which would cause death to the tissue in that area. So they are kind of hard to kill, actually, because when you try to break it off, they're very good about retracting very deeply into their shell, like most snails. So you really kind of have to crush the entire thing. I have done that in the past when they've gotten in the way in tweezers. This one's not in the way. A little bit, you can see he has irritated the coral that he's by, but it's kind of in a general irritated state, I think. But he is partly to blame. And so you want to kill him off, you can. So you see the one in the front is almost completely drawn in its string. The second one, which is a little bit behind it, is still in the process. So that's a vermetid snail. It is considered by many to be a pest, though it is a mostly harmless pest. If you see them, you don't necessarily have to get rid of it. But if it's in a location where you don't like what it is doing, then you can. And that's it. Vermetid snail. Fascinating snail that once it fixes on there, it's not going to move. They're very common hitchhikers, so you are likely to find them in your tank. And like I said, they're not snails that move around, but they are in fact snails, and not worms like is sometimes thought. Quite different than other tube worms, and if you pay close attention, you'll see the difference. And if you look really close, which I don't think I can get in, you'll see they are rather snail-like, and you can see the face of a snail in there. Alright, well, anyway, that's a little break. I'll have the other Aptasia video really soon. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later.